value index is actually down 9%. The XLK is still up 25.
Specifically in some very large mega cap tech and communication services name. Many listeners on SiriusXM, what I want to tell you is, as of June 30th, according to regulatory filings, SoftBank has had massive positions in big names like Amazon, Alphabet.
Okay, guys, basically, you know I'm a big market guy, so this is welcome to my office. Basically, that's what I do all day long. I'm just sitting here and checking out the stock market. Okay, now I want to talk about our president, President Donald Trump. Today, the economic news was very good because more jobs are added. Basically, they're not added. Okay, you had 20 million people out of work. You got 1.8 million people coming back to work because the economy is opening slowly. So out of 20 million, 1.8 million came back to work. But I'm sure our president gonna take credit for it while he got nothing to do with it. Because these jobs are not created by the government. They are created by business. And they're the one who should be credited for the economy. But he will take credit for it. Now, the biggest thing I wanted to talk about is the election. Everybody talking about paying a lot of attention toward Trump trying to steal the popular vote, which is to me ridiculous. The last election, Trump stole the election without touching the popular vote. Trump was elected 3 million popular votes short. So the popular vote, you cannot mess with it. The whole thing with the post office, with everything else you're hearing, it's all BS. Because Trump is like a pickpocket. He got your attention focused this way while he got one hand in your pocket. And that's basically what is happening here. This whole thing is, but nobody's watching the popular vote. It's like you have a back door. Nobody's watching the back door, but everybody's watching Trump come in to burglarize your house through the front door. It's not going to happen. And if you think it's not true, let me say this to you. Trump been here for 4 years. His popular rating never went over 50%. He's the only president of the United States who never reached 50% during 4 years in office. His popular rating always like in the 30s and 40s, never reached 50%. In Obama, you could check it out. You could Google it. Obama, Ford, I don't care who it is. They all at one point, they was up to 50%. But Trump for the past 4 years never reached that. So even, let me tell you something. Even those people you see who are Trump supporters, they do it because they live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of Trump supporters and their friends, their mother-in-law. But even those people are not stupid, because today is the 4th of September. Many of them are not going to be able to pay the trailer park. They're going to be evicted, and they have no money. Many of them who's renting, it's going to be evicted. Okay? They cannot pay for glasses because they don't have no money. And what did he do for them when it come to their medical? Nothing. They all, even his supporters, because a lot of the people you see supporting Trump are not very rich people. Yes, he got rich people who like him because of those tax breaks, and that's where it stopped. And it's good for the stock market because of these tax breaks. If you let the big corporation have tax break and they could, or you give them tax, you give them money, and you know the last stimulus package that was voted by mostly by the Congress, the $1,200 you got, came from the House of Representatives, not Trump. Even though he sent me a letter telling me that, oh, I send you $1,200. He wasn't even for it. So even those people, they're not stupid. They know for a fact that they can't pay for their medical, they can't pay for their dental, and all these things, they went up. Their prescription, I mean, if you have diabetes, the diabetes medicine is like $600-700 every 3 months. And a lot of those people, it's coming out of their pocket. Or not unless they had Obamacare, because Obamacare is still the law of the land. Even though Trump is doing all these things, it's still, and if they don't have Obamacare, and they're not stupid. So many of them, even though you see them going to these rallies, even though the rallies, they don't have as much people, Trump is not going to get the popular vote. And he's going to lose that. But what I'm afraid of is too much attention is being paid to the popular vote. This thing with the post office, it's nothing but him making you look this way so he could steal your wallet. Because there's nothing he can do, because the votes, it's going to be a landslide. By the time, by around 10 o'clock, okay, he's going to lose. But nobody's looking or nobody's talking about the popular vote, the Electoral College. And this is what I'm afraid of. Because when you're not paying attention to the Electoral College, that's how he won last time. Okay? He was short 3 million votes last time. Alright? So I'm not afraid of that. What I'm afraid of is the Electoral College. And we want to know exactly what is being done about the Electoral College. And a lot of those people who tell you Trump is good for the economy, that's BS. Because, he's telling you he was bringing all these jobs from Mexico. General Motors, all the companies who build cars and who do all their things in Mexico, this is the 4th year now. They're still doing it. During the past 4 years, Tesla built the biggest mega factory in China. The biggest problem we have with China is intellectual property. Okay, you ever heard Trump talk about it? If anybody next time in the debate asks Trump for me, exactly for the past 4 years, what have you done for intellectual property with China? Because that was the big concern. The notion that people was thinking that Trump was going to be bringing jobs from China into the U.S. or from Canada it never happened. And we only have 60 days to go for the election. So don't tell me you expect him to do it in the next 60 days. Okay? So this is a whole lot of talk. This man only been sitting here promoting his business, his brand, his family, but he didn't do a thing for the American people. The only people, the one who been really good to us is the business community. Okay? In fact, I would say they are the one. Okay? If you get a job now, you're getting it from Amazon. You're getting it from Google. You're getting a job from Microsoft. Those are the people, not Trump. Because they're the one who keep the economy going, even during the pandemic. American Zoom, companies like that, they keep everything going, and they're changing to adapt, to adjust. They're adjusting with the pandemic. So people now could sit and work at home and do different things. But if you think that Trump is doing anything for you during this pandemic or anything else, my friend, I have a bridge to sell you. Trump bring you chaos. You see Portland, Oregon, the police problem, killing black people. He called Black Lives Matter. You know what he said? They're a bunch of, oh man, that was the worst. It shows you how ignorant Trump is. He said Black Lives Matter is a bunch of Marxists. But guess what? Vladimir Putin is a Marxist. But that's the guy he's in love with. That's his sweet daddy. That's his pimp. That's the guy he's depend on to steal the Electoral College vote to put him back in office in the upcoming election. But he's telling you that Black Lives Matter, that organization, is a bunch of Marxists. Obviously, he think you're stupid like he is, or ignorant like he is. The other thing is, and that's the thing I don't understand. He's a guy who's really good for the top 1%. As a Republican, I probably would be good to the top 1% myself, because I believe in trickle-down economic. Now he got a bunch of populists behind him, a bunch of people, poor people. Those are not even, a lot of the Trump supporters, a lot of them are not even middle class. Those are people who live in trailer park, who don't own a house, they're renting, and right now this pandemic that Trump is not even talking about. Trump, as far as Trump is concerned, you don't see no Dr. Fauci, you don't see him talking about that. Right now, he's busy doing his campaign to be reelected. And then he's gonna be coming in the next few weeks with a vaccine. Just like he told you to drink Clorox last time. He's gonna come out with a vaccine, which he's gonna be buying their stock a couple of days in advance. And I know about it because that's what I do all day. Because I'm waiting for him to just mention the name of the company and I'm gonna be buying it. Because I follow him around. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to say, okay, Pfizer, there's a bunch of them. Or whatever name company he picked, the vaccine he's going to pick, which is a vaccine who's already here. It's not going to be good. It's not going to help anybody. He's just going to pick it. And once he does that, he's going to be probably buying the stock in advance and put a lot of money in his pocket. And then he's going to make you think, President Trump just come out with a vaccine, which is some bullshit because it's not going to happen. It's not going to be good, just like all the other one he had before that he said and they didn't work. But that's basically what he's waiting for. But Trump, as far as the popular vote is concerned, they're going to be a landslide, okay? Very few people is going to vote for Trump. When it come, okay, Hillary beat Trump with 3 million votes last time in the popular vote. And during that period, the American people did not know Trump. Many people thought Trump was somebody whose net worth was about like 200 billion. But now they know him. And up till now, he don't even want to show his income tax. Okay? So people, American people are smart. They're not that stupid. So it's going to be a landslide. Because even when you count all the vote, it's going to, like 8, 10 o'clock, he's going to lose the election because of the popular vote. You cannot mess with the popular vote. But, and he lost the last election the same way, 3 million votes. Watch the Electoral College. Because if there's a way for this pickpocket to pick your pocket, it's going to be with the Electoral College. And nobody's paying attention, nobody's talking about it. Everybody act like the Electoral College is like it didn't happen. And that's what scared me with this thing. Both you and I are sure, and me and the president himself, Donald Trump, we're sure that he's not going to be reelected. It's not going to happen, especially with the popular vote. But at the same time, we know nothing about the Electoral College. And everybody's eyes is on the popular vote, the popular vote. The man is in the White House after they stole the Electoral College. He lost 3 million votes with the popular vote. And that's what scared me with the upcoming election. And somebody need to be watching, okay? Now, The other thing is Trump telling the people to vote twice.
Let them send it in and let them go vote. And if their system's as good as they say it is, then obviously they won't be able to vote.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to do it. And I think that the election people, the people who are in charge of the election, after the election, should make sure these people are arrested and prosecuted. And those people, they should sue Trump, even though it's their stupidity. Because if Trump tells you to jump off a bridge, if you do it, you are stupid. Okay? And it's so much about this guy that is so wrong that there's no way the American people is going, oh God. Okay? So, anybody who think they're gonna vote twice or they're gonna create a chaos, it's no big deal. Even if it take a month to count the votes and to do anything, he's going. But like I said, it's the Electoral College. That is the most important thing. And everybody's talking about that, and this pickpocket is get his hand going like this while he's still in your wallet with the other hand. Why nobody's talking about that? The Electoral College people, and if you could talk to somebody, if you could write it on your Facebook, write it. Because nobody want Trump to be here for a second term. Because even if he's, let me tell you something. This country got the check and balances in place. Even if Trump steals the election, and if there's any wrongdoing, the thing in the second term is Trump is not going to care about anything because he don't have to worry about being reelected. He spent all his time in the first term running for president. Don't expect him to do that on the second term. It's not going to happen. This man is about to do whatever he want the way he wanted for the second term. And if anybody think Donald the Apprentice, if given a second term, a man who don't care about his job, I mean, he don't even understand his job because he never read his job description. He's here because he feel that he was lucky. But at the same time, he's always get opportunities, but he always fell. He fell in business. All his casinos, airline, everything he ever had, they all went into bankruptcy. And basically, he just bankrupt the presidency. As you could see, he's not even talking about the pandemic. As far as Trump is concerned, there is no pandemic. The only thing there is right now is me being re-elected. And that's how he sees it. Okay? And the problem I'm having with this whole thing is we are Trump boss. The voters, we put him here to work for us. He is working for the people. But he treats us like he is our boss. He's telling you, I'm not going to fund Democrat cities like New York, like Portland, Oregon. He give you a whole list. But he's so dumb and ignorant, like there's no Republican or there's no Trump supporters living in those cities. He talk about powers that he don't even have. Because he cannot hold the money. He want to do exactly what he did with the man money from Europe, Eastern Europe. He tried to do the same thing with New York. He talk about executive power, and Trump be lying and lying and lying. And I know because of that, he probably gonna lose the popular vote in a landslide. I'm not even worried about it. Because I know, even like by 10 o'clock, it's going to be over for him. There's not going to be a recount because the numbers is going to be so high. But, like I said, the electoral vote, And what scared me is like nobody's talking about it, which is exactly how he got elected last time. Because these people, they could hack, they could do so much, and you could see how desperate the man is to be reelected. And this is the biggest thing when it comes to the upcoming election. Okay, people should vote. I voted, and I'm registered to vote by mail. I already tested it. I did it before, and I know it's going to happen again for me. I don't worry about that. And I know millions of Americans don't want this man there for another term. And more people are affected by his presidency than before. Because it's not like before you didn't know who he was, or you thought he was a successful businessman. Now we all know that he went to bankruptcy 6 times. That's not 2 times or 3 times. 6 times, that's not retail, that's wholesale. So, at the present time, we know Trump. And I don't worry about the popular vote. He's not going to be reelected. No doubt. Okay, 3 million last time. How many more million this time? It's going to be overwhelming. Remember what I said, people. The Electoral College. Because the country, if you elect another president who care about the pandemic, who's not going to tell you there's no pandemic, where you up to almost 200,000 Americans dead, 5 million infected, but you have a man who's now telling you, what pandemic? This is like the flu. It's a hoax. American people are not going to go for that. I don't even worry about it. Because in terms of the popular vote,
it's 1 o'clock.
Or even the count, I don't even care. My problem, like I said, is the Electoral College, which is exactly what they did last time. I believe in the American people. I believe in free enterprise. And I know in terms of jobs and in terms of everything else. Because what people, they try to scare you, oh, he's good for the economy. Obama left this man the economy. The slope was going up in the same momentum. But what he did, he started a Cold War with China. He started a war with Canada, with Mexico, and then the trade. So then he caused the U.S. farmers to go into deficit mode. Then he turned around, he put a tariff on product coming from China. Who paid for it? He keep telling you China is putting a lot of money in our pocket. That's not true. So China is putting all this money in your pocket. Right now, we need a stimulus package. The Democrats put a stimulus package there. Okay? Everybody would like to get a check. Are we getting it? So you know for a fact, people are not stupid. They're not going to vote for that. And I'm not even afraid of the popular vote. Because I know Trump already lost the popular vote all by himself. But my problem is, I'm going to repeat it again, the Electoral College. Because it's not like the Electoral College vote, that the Electoral College, they may vote against Trump. But if there's something that they're doing to win the election, that's where it's going to be done. And just like you see the thing with the post office, with all of it. Okay. All of that is him making smoke, putting smoke out there for you to grab your attention to the left while he's stealing your pocket on the right. Okay? So I have Trump numbers. And I know, I don't even worry about it. The majority of Americans are not going to vote for Trump. And even his 30%, his supporters, they're not going to vote for him. They're not stupid. All of them would like to get a check to pay for that trailer park rent that is due for the past 2-3 months. They would like to get an unemployment check. And they know who's not giving it to them. They're not stupid. Okay? They know that they can't even go to a dentist. They have eye problem. They can't even go to an ophthalmologist to get glasses. Okay? They know the prescription drug that they need for their sugar diabetes is costing them $800. And they've been using Obamacare. And Trump is trying to kill that. They are not stupid. Yes, they want their neighbors to know that they are Trump supporters. The other thing, and they know Trump. Even, let me tell you something. A lot of the racists, like the people in the South that Trump tried to, he tried to have them on his side. Because he said, okay, I'm for the Confederates flag. Meanwhile, Trump never lived in the South. Trump is the son of immigrant like Wilner Nau, like me. His mother immigrated from Europe to the United States. His father immigrated from Europe to the United States. His wife, not only the first wife, the second wife, they all immigrants. And that's why this wife he got now, you know she don't like him. There's no doubt she don't like him, and she don't like the daughter, she don't like nobody over there. Okay? So, this man is telling you he's for the Confederacy. What is the Confederacy? Those are states who were against the abolishment of slavery. Okay? So they separated from the United States, and we had a civil war between the South and the North, because those northern states who stay with the United States, and then you had the Confederate state, and that Confederate flag represents them. But Trump is telling you, this is our heritage. The man never, okay, yes, he been in Florida, that's it. But he's not a Southerner. This is a New Yorker to the max. But he's telling you, he's a Confederate supporter. He's so ignorant. You see all this thing I just told you about the Confederacy? I wonder if Trump know about them. Like his niece said, he paid somebody to take the SAT for him, or to probably sit in college for him and take even more tests for him. And that's why he don't want nobody to get his school records. And I know one day eventually in the second term, all of them going to be out. Because I'm sure somebody going to burglarize the school and put their hand on that information. I'm sure Vladimir Putin already have it. Okay, so he started a big fight with NASCAR. NASCAR opened their door and they were nice to Trump. Trump criticized them because they abolished the Confederate flag. The military tried to remove a bunch of Confederate statues and Confederate names and different bases. He started a big fight with them. Meanwhile, come to find out today, they know that Trump hate people who went into the military. He even told his own son, if you think you're going in the military, you're not getting mine. I'm gonna disown you. Just like himself. He was supposed to go in the military. He refused. You know how many Haitian, Jamaican, Mexican who fought for this country in all the wars? But this man here, he's telling you, anybody in his family who tried to go and join the military, you're not getting any money, and he's going to disown them. And I'm not making that stuff up, because all you have to do is Google it. And some of the general, my friend, remember McCain? So he said, anybody who went to war and died, they are stupid. That's what he said. And he said, I'm not for the loser. Meanwhile, he's the biggest loser this country ever seen. He's missed the contradiction to the max. And the people who supports him, they just stupid. It's almost like somebody who take a doo-doo, a piece of shit, and tell you, it smells good and I'm willing to eat it. Because that's what it is. Because the smell is there, the look is there, everything is there. he's the wrong man for the job. But there's a bunch of people, oh, he's good for the economy. Meanwhile, the person is telling you that he's good for people like me. Because I'm in the stock market. And he put money in he don't put no money in your pocket. What money is he giving you? You unemployed. You can't even pay for that trailer park that you renting. They're about to, you're going to be evicted. You on a land where they're going to put you out. Oh, he's good. I'm for Trump. But I know a lot of those people who are saying that when they go to vote, they're not going to vote for Trump. I know it. They are not going to vote for him. And if he's going to steal the election, he's not going to that road anyway. Make America great again. Oh my God. You're going to make America great again. And you have, in Portland, Oregon, you have riot in the street everywhere in America. But you running for president and you telling people if Biden is elected, they're going to be riots like that. It's going to be everywhere. But you are the president. You can't even stop it. He was supposed to send troops to Oregon to stop the riot. Did they stop it? He capitulated. They left. So now who's gonna re-elect him to do what? Something he couldn't do while he's president, and something the whole chaos started during his presidency. This kid, who's 16 years old, killed two people. It's not even Black Lives Matter because the people who were killed were white. So even if it's not even Black life who doesn't matter to Trump. It's even white life. Because if you're not a supporter of Trump, your life doesn't matter. Because this 16-year-old came from another state, but with his AR-15, killed somebody, then guess what? Trump is tweeting and supporting him. Talking about they would have killed him. He was defending himself. What president would... Oh man, anyway, this guy, I don't know. And he get more retarded, he get more stupid, and the more you listen, I follow him on Twitter. I even give up on him. Because I used to answer him, I just stopped. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this video on Twitter for him to answer to him. Because I want to tell him, Donald, if you're watching this, let me talk to you directly. I think you are a loser. You was a bad businessman. You fail in business. And that's why you're here in politics. Because because you fell in business that you are here that you are a politician. If only you could pay attention, because this job was an easy job. For you to fail that means you are a failure altogether. You are a loser. Okay? Yes, I said it, Donald. You are a loser. You never give yourself a chance to understand people. This whole notion that you're supporting the Confederacy. The only reason you're supporting it is because you don't even understand it. You don't even know what it is. The only thing you know is a lot of those people, they are racist, they don't like black people. Okay, I'm going to be with them. You never live in the South. You from New York. You're going to tell me this is your heritage? New York was not one of those Confederate states. New York was fighting against it. And that's where you make your money. The only thing is you're so dumb. If only you could read a book, you would know better. This whole racist thing that you're doing, even the racists, they're not stupid. They know that you are using them. It's like, okay, I know why he's doing this. They know we don't like black people, and he's gonna act like he don't like. But meanwhile, so many black people that was rich and had money, that Trump used to kiss their shoes. I could start with Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. I mean, he was managing Mike Tyson money. The man couldn't even manage his own money. Now he was managing Mike Tyson money. Don King, P. Diddy, all of these black people, they were his friend. Because there was a way for him to put his hand on their money. Because he was able to rent them apartments, condos, sell them property. I mean, oh God, I know your number. This New Yorker is not going to be fooled by you. Because I read all your books, even though you didn't write them, and most of them you didn't read. I wish I could I could be face to face with you and mention some of those things that I read in your own book. You wouldn't even know what they are. Because somebody wrote the book and they put your name on it. And you never actually read the book after it was published. I saw Trump one day on Howard Stern show talking about he met Vladimir Putin before he was president. I hope Howard could show this tape. Howard, if you're listening, man, show that tape where Trump said he met Vladimir Putin. Then we come to find out later on, Trump never met Putin. Putin don't even like Trump. Because Trump was trying to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. Vladimir Putin is one of the richest men in the world. I mean, he's probably one of the two richest men in the world. If he liked Trump, he could have built a Trump Tower with his own money, because he got plenty of money, and put Trump name on it. But he didn't do that. And when Trump tried to raise money to do it, he didn't let him. Because he knew all about Trump. And he got a lot of data. He got a lot of information about Trump. During those beauty pageants that he had, that was held in Moscow before Trump was president. Okay, and in Russia, they got cameras everywhere. In his hotel rooms, his orgies. Like the man says, he's into golden showers. Vladimir Putin have the tape. And that's why even he find out that Vladimir Putin was putting bounties on members of our military, he never said a word about it. Because he knows if he ever get Putin pissed off, Putin has enough information to put out there on his butt. In addition to his financial, him borrowing money from different Russian oligarchs and Russian mobs over there. And why you think he's like, when it comes to Vladimir, Trump is working with him with a white glove. I better stop, because the more I say about this guy, and I know the American people, I believe in the people of America. As a voter, as an American, I know we're not going to elect him. And I'm not worrying about the popular vote. But this electoral college, we don't have control over that. And I hope somebody, whoever's in charge, whoever's able to go and do something about it. Don't let Trump steal the next election. Even though I know this time, even if he's this time he's gonna get arrested. But we don't even want to start that. I would prefer to him to vacate the White House, the People's House, in November or in January. I want him out of there. But we have to look at the Electoral College. And I don't hear nobody talking about it. And that's what's worrying me. The Electoral College. I'm going to repeat it again. The Electoral College. Please pay attention to that. Thank you for listening. See you next time, America. I love you, the greatest country in the world. And we're not going to let Trump do a second term. It's not going to happen. We're going to be vigilant. We're going to go out there. We're going to vote. Everybody going to be voting. We're going to vote. We're going to mail our vote, and we're going to check and double check. Trump is not going to steal that election. But we want to let the Congress and all the people in charge know that they have to watch Trump with the Electoral College. They have to. Thank you. Have a nice day.